I also don't know what Hitachi wand is. I'm sorry.
Who's going to explain it to her? Lauren, why don't you Google it? Can you Google it right now for the podcast, please? Please. Okay. We can cut it if it's too PG-13.
Oh, jeez. That scares me.
Or not. Lauren is Googling Hitachi wand.
Okay. Oh!
Hello, friends.
Hello, friends.
And welcome back to an episode of Pickles and Vodka, the mental health podcast where imperfect people have imperfect conversations. I'm Christina.
And I'm Lauren.
And today, this is the hardest part for me for some reason.
I'm kind of giddy because of this new recording thing that we're doing. I'm like, it sounds so good. It's so neat.
So Lauren and I are trying out Riverside, which is basically what all the professional podcasters use, I think. It's like everything we need in one app. We got sound effects. We got our voicemails. We got a chat.
We are nothing if not professional.
We're very professional. If you followed us for any span of time, you'll know that.
Yeah, me laughing didn't really sell it.
Oh my God, Lauren. Okay, but before we begin today, so when this comes out, it'll be Monday. Hold on, I have to look at the date.
Oh, it'll be Monday the 31st. You know why I know that? Because that will be the first day that I am back to work full time.
Okay, I want to ask you about that. Oh my God, there's so much to talk about. We skipped a week of podcasting, and now I feel like there's just too much to talk about. Oh yeah, but Lauren, so on Tuesday, the day after this comes out,
yes,
August 1st, will be your 1 year anniversary as a co-host.
Oh my God!
Yeah, wait. Okay, that's
that
obnoxious.
That is our adoring fans.
I could have played the whole thing, but it was 36 seconds, and I didn't want to subject people to that.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, Lauren, you have been officially almost co-hosting this podcast for 1 year. How do you feel about that?
I'm surprised.
Sorry, I'm a monster.
What? You're gonna throw me with all those things. I know.
You're surprised?
What is happening?
Why are you surprised?
That it went that long. I mean, I think because it's something that I always wanted to do, and you know, when I got the chance, I thought like, oh, we'll just do this for a couple of weeks, and it probably won't work out.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I started this podcast. We never know if we're gonna show up on any given week, y'all. But here we are, and I'm so excited to get into an extenuation of last episode's topic, which is, of course, the concept of high functioning. But first, Lauren, where the fuck are you at?
Nervous as fuck. And that's because I'm returning to work.
Yeah, so talk about that. You have been in treatment for like over
3 months.
3
months exactly. Yep.
Yep. And your work doesn't know that, like, why you were gone.
Right. Unless, you know, the one person does because she saw some paperwork. But she won't tell anyone.
She's cool. I can just tell.
Yes. I can tell you. Oh my God.
What?
Sorry. Whatever notifications came up just like rang super loud in my ear.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
Anyway.
If that's any consolation.
Oh, that's good. So you're not going to hear those in case more come up. Okay.
No. We're professionals. Remember, we have a professional software now.
Right. If we keep telling people, then we definitely are professionals.
Okay, but anyway, speaking of which, you're returning to work.
Yes. So I was saying the last couple days, like the last week or so, first of all, PHP has exploded. There were maybe, you know, like 11 people there 2 weeks ago, and then they've just started increasing. And when I left for my last day yesterday, then there were 24.
What?
Yeah.
That sounds overwhelming.
It very much was. And so the whole last week, I was just like, I can't wait to get out of here. I'm so out of here. I want away from all these people. On Thursday, we have a grocery group. And
I want a grocery group.
Yeah, that's the last group on Thursday. And, you know, everyone that has their own car can take their own transport. And, you know, we drive and we meet at Walmart and everybody shops. Cute. And you have, you know, like the dietitians there to kind of, you know, point you in the right direction or whatever you need. But because I was just so over it, then I got in my car and was like, I'm just going to go home now. So I just
You skipped your grocery group?
I did. I skipped out on the last group.
You heard it here first, folks. Lauren is a grocery group skipper.
Yep.
I said I wasn't going to shame you on the podcast, but that was last episode.
Yeah. And my roommate was home, and I told her, I'm coming home early. I was like, I'll explain when I get there. And when I get there, I was like, well, let me tell you, I had a reason for missing the grocery group. See, I didn't want to. Just like, okay.
Well, I want to ask you how recovery is going, and I don't mean how treatment's going, because the two are very, very different.
Right. There's already been everything, just this morning, it's like, I have today, it's just me responsible for myself. I can make my decision. Do I want to just have coffee for breakfast? No. Okay.
Yeah, dude, I did that earlier too. I had a cup of coffee and I wasn't going to have anything else. And then I made a bowl of yogurt and granola and blueberries. And now I'm here.
I had a blueberry bagel with strawberry cream cheese.
Oh, see, I've always been afraid to try the berry combo. I feel like it would overwhelm my senses.
It's when I was in college and I was doing some sort of youth theater thing. It was like I was directing kids in their little play or whatever. And for some reason, I got that on the weekend once on the way to practice, and then I just did it every week. So it had a nostalgia factor. I was like, oh, I haven't had a blueberry bagel with strawberry cream cheese in so long.
We love a nostalgia food. Yeah. I feel that way about cinnamon raisin toast with butter. Is this a food podcast? I hope not.
Yeah. If so, we haven't been doing very well at it.
Trigger warning, food. I heard you vaping, and I was going to say I left my vape in the other room because... So I have not gotten any pods. I still have a disposable, but I have been leaving it at home when I go to work, and this is work, and so it's in the other room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry if I tempt you with the sound of my vaping.
Oh no, it's like ASMR at this point.
Oh, okay.
Were you about to say something else before I interrupted you?
Yeah, I was just going to say, where are you at?
So... Okay, I have a list of things that I wanted to talk about. The first was your 1-year anniversary as co-host, so we did that.
Yes.
I'm patting myself on the back. Okay, yeah. I want to briefly talk about my birthday because it was kind of a shit show.
Uh-oh.
Basically, I got really depressed for no reason and canceled all my plans and isolated and had some really, dark thoughts that lasted, for 2 days straight, basically. Mm-hmm. And, we've talked about it on the podcast a million times, how hard it is to reach out and ask for help when you feel like that.
Yeah.
I'm talking I couldn't get out of bed. I tried writing. I tried going on a walk, all the things. Everything just made me feel worse. And I was literally going through my contacts trying to pick someone to call. And I was like, no, gonna bother them. And I didn't end up calling anyone. And it was really shitty, but my sister ended up calling me and coming over, and I was honest about what was happening. And
that's good.
But at the end of the day, I did get some very exciting news. Mm-hmm. I got my ADHD diagnosis.
Oh, that's when you got that.
Yep. So it was just the world's shittiest birthday, and I was just feeling more mentally ill than I had in a long time. And then I got this ADHD diagnosis. Actually, I'll tell that story another time. Just kidding.
Okay.
Yeah. But the reason I got it was because I finally pushed myself in that moment to complete the last step that I needed to do because I felt so shitty. And so what was a really awful time ended up being good because, I got this ADHD diagnosis, and now my next step is getting on meds, hopefully
helping. Yes.
Hopefully helping. Yeah. I don't know. I've had so many feelings about it over the last 2 weeks that now that I'm talking about it with you, I feel kind of numb about it. It happened. We're moving on. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm here. Let's talk about functioning because it's been hard for me to function lately.
Gotcha.
So what was the question that we put out to listeners last time we recorded?
Wow. I don't remember. It was something about high functioning and yeah.
So yeah, you came up with the topic of high functioning because it's something that you're struggling with right now. And sorry, I got distracted.
So did I.
Wait, when
I was looking for our question, so I pulled up Instagram, and then I just saw that my friend posted she has a new t-shirt that says pro-possum, pro-abortion, and it has an angry possum on it. It made me laugh.
You could do that with anything, really. You could be like, pro-vape, pro-abortion.
But or just like, the angry possum on it really sells it. He's funny looking.
Pro-strawberry cream cheese, pro-abortion.
Yes.
Sorry. Okay, so we asked you listeners, what keeps you functioning?
Yes.
Do you consider it healthy or not? And why?
Yes.
So we're just going to go right into the answers because we got a bunch.
Yeah, I haven't looked at all of them. I saw some.
So the cool thing about this pickle poll, Lauren, is that a lot of people that answered were dudes.
Okay.
I'm assuming. I mean, you know.
Okay.
I know them. They're dudes. But we've never traditionally gotten very many interactions.
We usually have a more female base. Yep.
Yeah, female presenting, whatever. But yeah, I thought it was really interesting. And 2 of those voicemails are from people who have never sent us voicemails before.
Ooh, newbies. Good job, guys.
Yeah, they're not new to the podcast, but one of them is.
But still. Yeah.
I suck at this today.
I'm afraid to figure out how to send a voicemail. I wouldn't send a voicemail to my own podcast because I'd be intimidated. So good job, guys.
So the first voicemail is from a longtime listener from the Peach Days, Lauren.
Oh, boy.
Yep. Do you know Thomas?
Was that the name on Peach?
No. It was like,
okay.
I'll bleep this out. Or something like that.
No, that was never one of my friends, and I can't remember if I've seen him around or not. Probably.
Okay, well, I'm obviously not on Peach anymore, but he follows us on Instagram, and here's his voicemail.
Hello, this is Thomas from Thunder Bay, Ontario in Canada. In response to your poll about what keeps you functioning, I think the thing that keeps me the most functioning is an evening coffee after work and a chance to be alone and not have to talk to anybody and doing my own hobbies. It used to be not as healthy, quote unquote, as that. It used to be doing a lot of drugs when I got home. But ever since I got sober, I've had to find something to keep me going. So that's been working for me so far. Anyway, thanks for asking for our input on this, and keep up the good work.
Yay! Thank you, Thomas.
Awesome. Yeah, and I totally agree with that too. Because I know, when I come home from work, or when I was coming home from PHP, then I was just like, I need like an hour to decompress and just lay here with my animals and play on my phone. Yeah.
Like, I really related to the part about coming home and wanting to do drugs, because that's what I used to do. And I still have to fight, like, not to do that some days. And the things that he listed, coffee, being alone, those used to be the things that I did not want to do when I was using drugs. Like, I did not want to be alone. I did not want to make myself a drink and sit and sip it and meditate. Like, I couldn't do any of that. But now, yeah, I totally, like, that kind of stuff helps me function now also.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I feel like I've turned more to that as I've gotten older. Maybe that's an old person thing.
Maybe. Thomas, how old are you?
But there's nothing wrong with it.
You don't have to tell us. Nothing wrong.
No.
Okay, next voicemail is from Christopher Robin, the writer that I told you about.
Yes, yes, I checked that out after you talked about that. Yeah.
Oh, you did? What did you think?
Mm-hmm. I liked it. I saw that they have a very similar vibe to us. I liked it.
Yeah, they're fun. Here's Christopher.
All right, I'm going out on a limb here, sending you a voice message because I'm emboldened by, I finished your podcast this morning. I didn't get to finish it all yesterday because I was too busy being high functioning. And I got to that part and I was like blown away at how relatable that was, because that is absolutely 100% true. We go to these stupid jobs every day and pretend we're fucking fine because you can't tell them you're not. You wouldn't get hired if you're like, oh, I'm depressed and anxious and I'm on meds for this and that and the other, they wouldn't hire you. So we have to be high functioning. As you said, we're just cogs in the machine. So what else is there?
That one is really relatable to you right now, Lauren.
Yes, it is. In fact, that's what I'm thinking is it's like, I can't go back to work and be like, well, it's kind of rough for me getting back because I just spent 2 months locked up and then another one it's still in like all day treatment because my head's screwed up. Yeah.
Yeah. And the cost of not disclosing that is just masking all day, like we were talking about last time. And it's just not sustainable. Yeah. But also, what's the alternative? Like, we can't all quit our jobs.
Like, one thing I loved is when my work decided to just combine, like, sick days, vacation days, all of that just into one big lump, called it, PTO, and you just use it for everything. You don't have to say what you're using it for or anything. So I was like, great, because then I can just say, I'm using PTO. I don't have to say, I might be too depressed to get out of bed tomorrow. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would encourage people to do that if you do have like sick days or whatever, PTO. You don't need to have like a traditional emergency to justify using them. Like, I have used mine with no explanation just because I woke up crying. And like, I didn't tell them that,
Well, and like a severe depressive episode, that is a sick day. Or,
totally.
Like a panic attack that isn't going away. That's a sick day.
Well,
That's
we
a problem.
know that. We know that. And it's more widely accepted, but I still feel like I would be uncomfortable going to my boss and being like, hey, Kate, I'm having a panic attack. Like,
yeah, I wouldn't call and be like, I can't sit down and my heart is beating out of my chest, so I can't come in.
Yeah. I can't focus right now because I'm thinking of something that happened last week. Sorry. Your project's not going to come in on time. No, I'm actually really good at getting stuff done on time at work, but in my personal life, I can never finish anything.
Same. I want to get my my hobby room put together, and I can't even like get the room put together. That project is like in the middle. So, but once I get the room put together, then it will have all of my half-finished projects all over it. I can't even get it put together.
That makes perfect sense to me, honestly. Yeah, I think it's an ADHD thing.
Maybe.
I still feel like an imposter when I say that.
Yeah.
Despite the glaring evidence.
Yeah, I had it again at the, I can't remember what I was talking about, but seeing the psychiatrist at PHP, and that's what, I was saying, like, why I wasn't getting something done and couldn't seem to do this, and he just, like, interrupts me. He's like, are you ADHD? And I'm like, maybe. So,
yeah. Well, is that what you said, maybe?
Yeah, and then I said, like, it's been suggested before, and, there's a lot that supports that idea.
I feel like you should look into it when you're not actively in treatment.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've meant to, but, I put it off because I might be ADHD.
And because functioning, quote unquote, is very hard.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, thanks, Christopher. He's the co-host of The Unfocused Writer, so go check that out. Yeah. Next up is Orion. Yay! I don't know why I said his name like that.
Because returning voice message guest.
Voice message guest. I like that.
Oh, good, because I was just grasping for something to say. I was like, I started saying this, and now I don't know how to finish it.
I love it, because not everyone wants to be a guest. That's a lot of pressure, but what if you could be a voice message guest?
True. And we have had some of those. We have a lot of regulars.
We do. We just never called them that before. I like it.
All right.
All right, here he is.
We talked about over-functioning as a way to compensate for the endless pit of despair that is your heart when you are depressed, or consumed by anxiety or an eating disorder or an addiction, and your well of passion for life is so dried up so that you just keep grinding your gears, just to be the best at your job, working full-time, making ends meet, doing all your stuff on the side, but just feeling nothing, just exhausting yourself until just for that sense of accomplishment from something, because nothing in life seems to satisfy you. Have we talked about that? Like, what's the point of showing up for myself? Like, I don't feel happiness anymore. I don't know what I want. I don't know if I believe that I can ever achieve anything that will make me enjoy my life. So I'm just going to keep accomplishing things for now until I can't anymore. And it takes so much out of you every day to try and be this high achiever that at the end of the day, you just don't have anything left for yourself. It's a self-perpetuating cycle of misery. And in some ways, it serves you to not sink into that pit of despair and just like give up and be quote unquote low functioning, even though that's what you are on the inside. Like, yes, I'm putting food on the table. I'm bringing stuff to the table, but I don't have the willpower to sit at the table. It's like, I'm not inviting myself to the table. I don't know what I want. And that has been the last couple of years for me. Just, I was grinding away and I accomplished so much, and it did serve me well. It set me up to the point where I can sort of have the comfort and the space to be a little bit lower functioning on the outside and to sort of bring myself up on the inside. But that's a place that I think that we all have to get to, and it's not going to be all the time that we're able to do that, which is very sad. The people who love me value me for more than what I can do and what I can accomplish. What they want for me is for me to be happy, and I couldn't be happy for other people. Like, I couldn't be healthy for other people, and I couldn't be healthy for myself. But I mean, I could show them that I could learn new skills, and I could show them that, you know, I can earn money for them and bring them gifts and come and help them out and just be the best friend I could be. But I know that now I can actually be a friend to myself, or at least have the space to try and be. And it is so much more rewarding to prioritize the function of just learning to be myself and working on myself, because it's so much easier to connect with others. Because achievements, as much as, even if we are achieving for other people, it does just get in the way of actually connecting to them. And connection, we know it's important. We all know. We all want it. And take a step back sometimes. Let yourself be low functioning, maybe. I say to myself, maybe I'm going to prioritize being high functioning at the things that actually matter to me and actually make a difference to the lives of me and the people that I care about and for the values that I care about, and leave the rest. You know, I don't have to have the perfect career. I don't have to have all the money in the world. You know, I don't have to have the perfect athletic body. None of that really has ever served me in striving for it. You know, let's get internal. Let's just sit and connect with ourselves and with other people, maybe. All right. That's my thoughts. Oh, and sometimes you can't. Sometimes, you have no passion for life and you're just doing things out of obligation. But keep going. Like, don't give up on functioning at all just because you want a break. You can have a break. High-functioning people take breaks, and they are kind to themselves no matter what. Ew, it's a gross word, but we can be kind to ourselves. And that's for everybody who's, still in that cycle. Me in that cycle. The mania versus the depression. It's all a storm, but it'll pass. Things pass, and we make it through. I love life.
God damn it, Orion. Why do you always send such long voicemails that I have too many notes and I don't know where to begin?
I know. I have to start taking notes and I'm like, am I going to hit everything?
Yeah. Overcompensating. Do you do that?
Yes. I know that is something that I do in particular for things that I don't want to be seen as. Like, I really greatly fear being seen as lazy. So I feel like I will go completely overboard, like, and especially, like outwardly so that like people see. So like nobody would ever possibly like say that I'm lazy because I'm doing everything for work or for something where I'm on display. But then I'm left with like an empty shell.
Yeah, you can't high function in every area. Like, if you choose to perform and function, even though you really can't, you really do have to pick one area to focus on at the expense of other areas, if that makes sense. So like when you are quote unquote high functioning at work and overcompensating so people don't know how bad it is, yeah, you're right. When you get home, you're an empty shell.
Mm-hmm. And especially, you know, like when Orion said that you are, you're low functioning already just like inside in general, then pushing to be high functioning to appear that way is even like takes up more energy, and there's just only so much you can put out.
Yeah, there's only so much. Like when I was deep in my eating disorder, I thought of energy as this resource that I never would run out of. And if I did, I could just like use caffeine or drugs or whatever and get it back. Like I didn't, it was kind of like an immortality complex, but for energy. And, you know, that eventually led to collapse. Like I couldn't go on like that for much longer. And I mean, same with you. Can you relate to that?
Absolutely. Because I was thinking like there's, you know, like some of the worst times, like towards the very end, like I was aware that all of my energy had to go into basically looking competent during the workday. I mean, this is stuff like every bit of energy that I had for the day was going into like sitting up at my desk and talking to people, like answering when they would say something. And so I knew that when I went home, then it was like, I am literally going to do nothing because I know that I've used every single ounce of energy I have just being normal, quote unquote, at work.
That is so true. That reminds me, like, I have a lot of social anxiety, but I overcompensate for that by being funny. Like, I am the funny person at work, or, you know, that's what I like to tell myself. And then when I get home, I just have, like, resting bitch face all day, and I have no energy even to smile because I'm so exhausted.
Yes, I get that.
And also, when you were talking about, like, not wanting people to think you're lazy, I thought about how I don't want people to think that I'm forgetful or disorganized, even though, like, my ADHD, like what I now know is ADHD, I don't have problems focusing. I just have problems regulating my focus. And so it seems like I'm forgetful or I don't care. And so to combat that, I take so many fucking notes. I make so many fucking spreadsheets. I write everything down the second I get it in an email. Like I'm very organized at work, but I can't do that for, say, the podcast, you know? Like, because I'm putting all that energy into doing that at work, I can't do it in other areas. And it's like Orion was saying, why can't we high function at the things that are worth it?
Yeah.
You know?
Because we feel responsible for these other things. Yeah.
Yeah. We just need to accept that we don't have unlimited energy.
Yeah. Maybe just accept that we could be medium functioning at a few things.
I'd be happy with that, honestly.
Yeah.
I wrote down the allure of low functioning because he was saying how, I don't even remember the exact words he used, but just how sometimes you just want to be low functioning because you don't have energy to even care anymore. I think you mentioned that in the last episode.
Yeah,
feeling like that.
I was going to say, we kind of touched on that last week. Yeah, just being like, wouldn't it be nice to just give up?
Yeah, we did talk about that a lot last week because I have a lot of strong feelings. Because like that, my fantasy is just to give up sometimes, and not even like I don't mean suicide. I just mean like not doing anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop putting effort into anything and just let things be. Yeah.
Yeah, and my life will magically keep going, and all the chores will get done, and the cats will get fed, but I won't have to do anything.
Yeah.
So he talked about inviting yourself to the table. What does that look like for you? Like when you do give yourself permission to function less at some things and then like show up for the things that are important, like what would that look like for you? I know we kind of talked about it already, but like for me, the podcast, obviously, like my writing, just letting myself enjoy my stupid home life that doesn't produce anything I can sell, you know? It's like you don't have to produce something to have it worthy of energy.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if for me, because like first I thought of like social things because I feel like I sacrifice anything social because that's where I've run out of energy because I put so much into everything else. but also sometimes being social is a chore. And sometimes I fake that, so I don't know.
Maybe showing up, like, inviting yourself to the table means, like, excluding other people.
True.
In a loving way.
Yeah, just like, yeah.
Like, maybe it means saying no to things. Like, that is really hard for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like just being around people when it's comfortable for you and not, like, forcing it because you feel obligated.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Sorry, now it's my turn to get a text and get distracted. I thought I turned my notifications off. They're everywhere. You have to turn notifications off in like 5 different places to be interruption free.
Oh my god, I know. The other way is to just chuck your phone in your room and run away.
Oh, I should try that next time.
Yeah. That's what I do sometimes. I just like stick it on my bed upstairs and then I just like go downstairs and hang out for a couple hours. Just like, I have no idea what's going on. Isn't this nice?
When you forget that social media exists.
Mm-hmm. Or you forget that you like don't have it with you. It's just kind of like, oh, no one's bothered me for a couple hours.
See, I can maybe go 15 minutes and then I get really proud of myself and then I go get my phone to tell everybody about it. Okay, that's it for the voicemails. We have a few Instagram comments. Why don't you read the first one? Because it's from Vicky.
Okay, this means I have to pull it up.
Oh, it's in the chat. So if you, in Riverside, there's a little chat box and you click it and I've pasted it in there.
Is that this one? No.
It's on the bottom right. At least
Please
it is on my screen.
Well, Lauren searches. Okay, here is the chat window, but it says nothing said just yet. That's not helping.
Okay,
there's still no chat. All right, so let's get to Vicky's response. She says, "Good question. I spent the better part of my late 20s, all of my 30s, and even into my 40s going in and out of treatment facilities and medical hospitals and psych wards. I was on disability and unable to hold down a decent job. To put it bluntly, I was a total mess. I'm thankful for the strides I've made in recovery, and I've been back to full-time employment for about a decade now. So by all accounts, I'm doing better. But in some ways, I almost feel like I just learned how to fake it all better. Fake being capable, fake being self-reliant, fake being okay. Being a total mess at least felt more authentic. I sometimes worry I'm headed for a giant crash because really, how long can you keep up the act?" I felt that one.
Yeah, that one. I mean, Vicky always makes us think. And that's not something I want to think about is like, is this recovery real? Like, is it real?
Yeah, and am I just waiting for the other shoe to drop, basically?
Yeah, but I think, like, when you have survived traumatic events like that and undergone everything it takes to get in recovery, I think a lot of people don't take it for granted and they are always afraid of the shoe to drop. And I think that isn't reflective of the precariousness of the situation. It's reflective of our insecurity in some cases. Does that make sense? Or like our anxieties.
I feel like I could be making this up, but I feel like I've heard that that's actually like a good response because that kind of like keeps you on the right path where if you became like complacent, then that's when everything would fall apart.
Totally. You got to stay humble. And because, there's been times I was super confident about recovery. Like with alcohol, for instance, I've quit like 7 times before I finally got sober. And each time I was like, this is easy. But as of now, I'm still kind of like, I respect alcohol. I know that it has the power to like destroy my life. And I don't think I could just like try it once and go back. So I don't do it.
Yeah, and even I know, like, the first time I came out of treatment, that's what I felt like, the same thing that my parents continue to feel like, why I don't tell them, is basically just like I came out like, oh, I went through this, so now I'm fixed, right?
Yeah.
It's like, well, no.
This time around, you haven't been, like, you have been doubtful, and I see that as a sign that you're maturing, growing, I don't know. Like,
yeah, it's almost like, don't be too cocky about it. Like, don't think like, I just went in and let them fix me. I got this. I don't need to worry anymore. Sweet.
But, I mean, when Vicky talks about faking it, like, fake being self-reliant, I feel like I do that. People think I'm pretty self-reliant. I'm not.
Fake being okay. That feels like my life.
Literally. And so I think when you're putting all that effort into faking, of course, like you feel like you're headed towards a giant crash because you know you can't keep it up forever because you're a human and you have finite energy, you know? Like, so it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy because, like, if you do fake it for that long, yeah, things are going to crash. It might not be in a big way. It might not be visible to anyone but you, but, like, there's going to be consequences.
Yeah, it's impossible to fake it forever.
But also, like, Vicky, I'm really proud of you for being back in full-time employment for a decade, like, after going through all that. I'm proud of you when I hear that. Also, I think that is someone who has learned how to mask and, like, how to be functioning on the outside. Because, like, to survive in... I don't know where you work, Vicky. Lauren, you know. But I don't know how corporate it is, but I feel like in corporate America, you kind of have to be good at masking to succeed if you're neurodivergent.
Yes. And this is why continue to extend. If she ever wants to be a guest, I would like that because I did, get to know her when we were both in our 20s. So, yeah. I mean, I'm even more impressed because like the mess she's talking about, I'm like, oh yeah, I saw that going on. I was, responding to you every day.
Oh my God, I want her to come on the show so bad. I asked her while you were in treatment and we talked about it, but
she has a story.
Really
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, she has a good story, I think. I think. Sorry, Vicky, I'm not trying to, like, talk you up and get you nervous like you have to perform.
Vicky, I am talking you up. But you don't have to be nervous because we don't perform. Maybe we do. Oh. I feel like I'm performing kind of when I make this. And then as a result, I get so nervous because I'm in performance mode that I fuck everything up. Whereas if I had just been natural, it would have been fine.
I get that. I feel that.
Speaking of high functioning.
Yes.
Okay, next comment is from Andrew Stevens, my ex. He says, weed, Lamictal, tricyclics, and the fact that my mom would be devastated if I was gone. Maybe half of that is healthy.
Oof.
So I had to look up Lamictal and tricyclics. Lamictal is an anti-epileptic medication, and tricyclics is a kind of depression. Sorry. It's an antidepressant.
Whoops.
Whoops. But yeah, I commented back and I was like, well, at least you're alive. Like, who cares if half of it is healthy? Like, you're doing what you can to stay alive. And I think that's the other side of functioning that we didn't talk about as much. Like, we talked about fake functioning, but I don't think we talked a ton about, like, what is the real functioning that you really have to do to literally survive.
Mm-hmm. And that's what was intriguing to me about this comment where it says, like, maybe half of that is healthy. And I was like, depending who you are, I feel like you could look at that two ways. Like, someone that, maybe isn't, like, so, like, pro-medicating, or, like, I don't want to say, like, pro-medicating yourself. Maybe someone who is anti-medicating yourself would be like, oh, like, you shouldn't rely on all of those things, Yeah. And for me, the second half, I think because I relate, makes me sad. The fact that my mom would be devastated if I was gone. I'm like, yeah, I've had that thought.
Totally. I mean, I look at that stuff and I do see it as healthy because it's not hurting anyone.
No.
In fact, the opposite,
Yeah.
We love harm reduction on this show. We talk about it a lot.
Absolutely. We had an episode on it.
Yeah. And we'll have more, damn it.
Yes.
I don't know. Do you have any more thoughts about that? What are the things that aren't healthy that you use? I don't think we answered the question ourselves, really.
See, I was just going to go off of saying, like, the responsibility that I feel, like, because that's what I thought of with, like, the fact my mom would be devastated. And I was like, yeah, I think I might have said this on the podcast before, but I've said it several times that something that keeps me around, I feel like, is... I've talked about my sister, and there's only 3 kids, and I think of it that way. It's like, my parents can't bury more of their kids than they survive. Like, wow, they can't have to bury 2 out of 3. That just sounds too rough to do to them.
Yeah, and that's so heavy, but relatable. And it's true. I wouldn't want to do that to my parents. And, but, like... Is that healthy? Because that puts a lot of pressure on them. And also, like, it puts a lot of pressure on you because you're putting their mental well-being in your hands But also, if that's what helps you stay alive, then,
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing. Like, staying alive for other people is not a bad thing.
No. If that's what it takes. Yeah, I agree. And
God,
the other one...
Sorry, I was about to go off on a rant.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say, the other one that makes me feel responsible is always staying alive for Pico. Because he can't do these things on his own. And I think of him just like if I was gone suddenly, and I just imagined him. I mean, now I have a roommate at least, so someone would be in the house. But before I thought of just like him just wandering around, being like, what do I do? Why is no one feeding me? Why is no one taking me out? Why does no one love me?
I get so sad when I think about that.
Yes,
like my cat's going through that.
And that's when I'd go like hug him and be like, I'll never leave you.
Oh, they don't understand. Like, they're just going to be confused and always looking around the corner for you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I wanted to say, I hate the saying, like, you can't love other people until you love yourself.
Oh,
that's what it was reminding me of. Like,
yes.
Staying alive for other people.
Me too.
Yes, you can love other people, even if you don't love yourself. And yes, it's okay to stay alive for other people, even if you don't want to stay alive for yourself.
Yeah. Like,
That's
really, I find that kind of arrogant to try and tell somebody, like, you're not capable of love. Because I'm like, who are you to tell me that? Just because I don't like myself.
Exactly. Love is a complicated word. It's a complicated feeling, emotion. I don't know. It's all encompassing. We have one more comment from Orion again. He says, how to face another day of functioning. Use the beloved coping habits, of course. And then he lists some of his coping habits. Caffeine, beverage, weed pen, Spotify, long walks, Hitachi wand, watching movies, watermelon gum. These help take my mind out of the present, sometimes to bring me back. And here's my favorite part. The devil works hard, but I work harder to stay functioning.
Yes.
But also, don't work too hard to stay functioning.
Mm-hmm.
If there's anything we want to leave you with, don't work too hard, at least unless it matters.
Yeah, don't do it just because it feels like a responsibility, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like, if you're just saying because other people need to see me functioning, that shouldn't be your only reason.
Yeah. I really liked back to his voicemail when he was talking about friendship and thinking that as long as he gave people gifts and spending money and time and resources that basically he didn't have for himself, on his friends, then that's friendship. But now I really liked how he was talking about by spending more time on himself now, his friendships have gotten better.
Yes. Yeah, I like that.
And that's something that I could definitely use.
I also don't know what Hitachi wand is. I'm sorry.
Who's going to explain it to her? Lauren, why don't you Google it? Can you Google it right now for the podcast, please? Please. Okay. We can cut it if it's too PG-13.
Oh, jeez. That scares me.
Or not. Lauren is Googling Hitachi wand.
Okay. Oh! I figured it out as soon as my first hit said, Hitachi magic wand, a woman's best friend. Like, okay, I know what a woman's best friend is. Never mind. Gotcha.
And now that's on your search history.
I was thinking that too when you were saying this stuff. I'm like, I'm typing it in like, God damn it. Now this is going to be in. I don't know what it is yet, but.
Also, woman's best friend. That's not cool.
Yeah. No, I thought that too. I was like, excuse you.
Excuse you. Everyone can enjoy Hitachi wand equally. I'm going to go see the Barbie movie this afternoon.
Ooh, I have heard mixed things.
Yeah.
I've heard a few people say that they were just like, oh, it was not good. It was really bad. But then I've heard a lot of people say like they enjoyed it, at least for entertainment value, which that's all I go to a movie for.
Yeah, I'm going to show off my new pink hair.
Oh, perfect. Yes.
I don't know anything about the Barbie movie, but my sister is making me go, and it'll be fun. You just need to be a little silly sometimes.
Exactly.
What are you doing the rest of the day?
I am probably seeing when my roommate wants to go shopping, because she said she didn't get everything she needs grocery shopping, and I skipped grocery group. So we both need to
that's
do
true.
That.
We've come full circle.
Yep.
Well, I hope you have fun and get the things you need. And we'll see you next week, I guess.
Yeah. Do we know what we're doing next week?
I can pick a topic.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's my turn.
It's your turn. It is. Okay, good.
I will pick a topic next week. All you gotta do is show up.
Yay! I can do that. All right.
All right. See you then.
All right.
Don't forget to rate and review. Wait. We forgot to tell our social medias. Fuck.
Damn it. We always do this.
You can follow me on Instagram at XT. Wait, no. Fuck. Follow Pickles and Vodka podcast on Instagram to get involved in this shit show of a podcast and tell us you like us.
Please. Especially the second part. We're very insecure.
And I'm Christina Jumper on Instagram. Don't follow me, please.
And I'm at Pico Suave, PICOSAUVE. Go ahead and follow me. My dog's cute.
He is very cute. Unlike this outro. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my god, I love that.
I know.